Jack, did you know there's a creature out there that absolutely loves to feast on human flesh? That's why we're sheep.
Wait, I'm a sheep.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I'm a sheep.
You're a sheep.
I thought I was a person.
Yes.
When did this happen?
Well, it happened after we discovered feeding the Manticore.
So I'm gonna the Manticore's gonna eat me?
No. Manticores feed on people.
Oh, so I'm safe.
So you're safe. You're totally safe.
Well, that's good.
All of you out there in the little white ball, go to patreon.com/feedingthemanticore and discover how you too can be safe.
All you have to do is donate a small fee, and you too can become a sheep. When you donate to our Patreon page, we polymorph you into a sheep so that you can listen to Feeding the Manticore safely as a sheep.
If you want to know about the Manticore, listen to Metagamers Anonymous. We'll talk about it. If you want to know how the Manticore was created, listen to The Wonderful World of Creation. We talk about it. If you want to know how we polymorphed you into a sheep, listen to Manual of Miscellaneous Magics, because we'll talk about it. Happy listening. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the Knight's Table. So this is a podcast where we talk about ideas that people have had, and they've implemented in some form, whether it be book form, movie form, or both, and how those ideas were not how they were conceived, but the quality of the idea, in our opinion, which is highly qualified because
we're awesome.
Yeah. And then how they were executed, like how the idea was put out to the public.
If it went good or if it went...
Yeah, exactly. Some examples of this.
And that's a technical term.
Yes.
It's a very technical term.
That is the scientific term for it was absolute crap. That scientists use that all the time.
I am a scientist.
Yes.
My name is not Carlos.
Now, there are some that would say that you're not a scientist, but those people are not scientific at all.
No,
in fact, they
wrong.
are. So, today, we're going to talk about Doctor Strange. But before we do that, we want to go through and briefly introduce everybody. My name is Joster. If you listen to Metagamers Anonymous, if you're one of our patrons, I'm on there all the time. And that's who I am.
I'm Jack, also affiliated with the Metagamers Anonymous podcast. Me and Joster do that together. So that's me.
I'm Stan Merrill. I'm a writer. I'm not on any other podcast yet.
We actually are going to be introducing a new podcast, the Manual of Miscellaneous Magics. You'll hear a lot more from Stan.
I'm Xana.
My name is Sora. I'm new to the group and the podcast group.
I'm Savath. I have been in the other podcast they mentioned earlier.
My name is Rasha, and I'm an alcoholic.
No. The term is altaholic.
Altaholic. Yes.
Nobody told me this was the AA meeting. I thought this was the podcast.
I gotta go. I really thought this was the podcast.
Alright, I am Roland.
Podcast
version.
He is strongly encouraged not to touch things.
Don't
Yes,
touch things.
if you hear that throughout the podcast,
There's reason.
And we have our special guest tonight.
Ori Killendal. Yes, Ori is visiting us from afar. He'll be visiting us just for this episode. But yeah, that's our group. Let's go ahead and get started. So, Doctor Strange.
Which is very strange.
Yes. Now, Doctor Strange, for those of you who don't know,
is awesome.
Who doesn't know?
Absolutely amazing. Well, I'm thinking
People who live under rocks.
Yeah, the Amish.
And
The Amish don't listen to podcasts, Joster.
That is irrelevant. This will be transcribed and mailed to them.
Okay.
Also,
Stan Merrill, I'm a writer. Stan Merrill here is going to write it down afterwards
Gotcha.
and then mail it to the Amish.
Gotcha. He's
Also, you were saying, like, the people who are, like, strongly against
Marvel because they're like, DC is better.
Yep, exactly.
They wouldn't know it.
For those people,
We will convert them.
Doctor Strange is not one of the better known comic book characters.
That's
Although,
true.
That's true.
They,
He's not-
they would think
yeah.
of Dr. Fate.
Yeah, exactly. Doctor
And he's not even
Strange,
that.
for those of you
Yeah.
who don't know, is he was a surgeon. They made a whole movie about it. It's part of the Marvel Universe.
And Doctor Strange started back in the 1960s,
Yes.
July 1963. So it's been around for quite some time. That's
Yay.
when he made his first debut
Yep.
in a comic book series.
Yes.
Makes
Yes.
sense, tripping.
The title of the comic book was Stranger Things.
So the interesting
Oh.
It's a
thing,
whole different
Strange
series.
Things. Strange Things. Not Stranger. My bad.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things is a different
Little
series.
different.
We'll get into that.
We might do a podcast on that.
Yeah, we will definitely do a podcast.
I haven't actually watched it yet.
Neither have I will have to.
Homework.
All right.
Gotcha.
So, Doctor Strange. The entire concept behind Doctor Strange, I think, was really cool because it differed so much from the rest of the Marvel universe.
I think too because it's a learned superpower and not something he didn't get bit by a radioactive martial artist.
Then you would actually be hilarious.
It's magic and he learned how to do it.
Yeah, it's also, I like how that differs from the traditional magic idea where you're born with it.
Right? Yeah. It's
just
a
studied.
learned ability.
Yeah.
He studied.
Yeah, he studied it like a magician.
So one of the things that when you watch the movies, they talk a lot about chi. They talk about energy of the body, right? And how you basically have this untapped well. So the thing that I really liked about Doctor Strange was the fact that when you're watching it, way in the back of your mind, you're thinking, this almost seems legit. This almost seems like it could really happen. And you hear all these news articles, and actually they have a series. It's called I can't think of the name, but it deals with supernatural humans, right? Where they actually go out and find people who have extraordinary abilities. They found the guy that could run just forever. He could just
It's
keep
not the
running.
4400, is it?
No, it's an actual
No, it's
people
a
in real
documentary.
life.
Yeah,
Stan Lee actually put it. It's like Stan Lee.
Superhumans.
Superhumans.
Superhumans. That's what it
Yes.
is.
where
That was
they
Stretch's
found,
kid.
he had.
That's
He
my
had-
brother. Have you ever? He can turn his nose inside out.
That's crazy.
My
Oh,
nephew
moving
can take
on.
the skin under his
Please.
chin and just like pull it up. It's really gross.
Oh,
That's
oh,
disgusting.
Yeah.
That's like fascinating to me.
Is that superhumans or creepy humans?
It's Metafreaks.
Yes.
And that's where they came up with like metahumans because they don't want to call them like freaks. That'll offend them because
That-
everyone will die.
Yeah, that just pisses them off, and then they go kill everybody. They go on some murder
So they
spree.
want to give them a good name, so they gave them metahumans. That's for another episode.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a whole new can of worms.
So, anyway, the thing that I really liked about it was it almost made it seem more real than the rest of the Marvel Universe did, because the only person that really, kind of did his own thing was Iron Man.
Right,
More or less.
and that's not a power per se. He's
Right,
like
it's
Batman.
just-
He's just a billionaire with tech.
And toys.
And a
Talking
genius
about
mind.
talking about the
Yeah.
reality bit of it, the other thing I really liked is when he actually went to go seek this place instead of like a lot of other places where that's automatically, oh, you found the place,
Yeah, it's like-
congratulations, the angels are singing. It actually had where he wandered around this town, he got friggin' robbed.
Yeah.
I mean, he got beat up, he got robbed, he wandered around a lot because he had no idea where he was going. He had never been to this place. And the first time he tried to get in, they wouldn't even let him in.
Yeah.
Something else that I absolutely love about the way that they portray the movie is that throughout the movie you see innuendos of time. So at the very beginning you see Doctor Strange in the operating room, and like while he's trying to do this intense operation,
Cover
he
your
tells
watch.
the other guys to cover your watch.
Yeah.
That just reminded
they
me
make
of
subtle
Sherlock.
they made subtle remarks to time throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of led up to his whole.
He can manipulate Ty. Yeah.
Exactly,
Time.
because like his favorite thing was watches.
Yeah.
The thing that he held on to
Was a watch.
was a watch.
Yeah.
That was given to him
broke
by-
when
Oh,
he
broke.
was Yeah.
I mean, even
watch.
the final battle itself mainly dealt with him turning back time to save the.
And
Not even just turning back time, but
But
then
then
he was
looping
hiding
it
time.
to
Yeah,
destroy Dormammu.
He brought
He
time
didn't
to
even
a
try to
place that
destroy
didn't
Dormammu.
have it.
Yeah.
He didn't even try to destroy Dormammu. He was just like holding him prisoner, basically.
Yeah.
in his time
He's
He was just
loop.
like, I can do this all forever.
Well, it brings up a really good point, though, how he's able to learn what he learned. And he was able to, like, get, like, 4 different doctorates at the same time because of his, like, photographic memory.
Mhm.
He was able to remember things really,
Yeah,
really
he said he got
quickly.
his
MD and PhD at the same
MD
time.
and
Yeah.
PhD at the same time.
Exactly.
Which is just insane.
Which leads into his natural affinity for the mystic arts.
Exactly, because he's able to understand what some people are not able to understand.
Yeah.
He's able to see the impossible.
Yeah.
Which is why he can use the eye where other people struggle to use that
yeah.
ability. He can read the book and like remember how to do everything, and then he can use it perfectly.
I love where he's like, "Oh, do you understand this language?" He's like, "I'm fluent in Google." I'm fluent in Google Translate.
Talking about learning all the different things, I absolutely loved how he used his portal to steal the books.
Yes!
And then used astral projection to study while he slept.
Yes.
Yep.
I loved it.
It was
So-
epic.
He is what every college student thinks they will be when they enter college.
Exactly. Considering
And
how
wishes
many
they
of us
could
are
be
college
when they're
students right
at the
now.
end of college.
Right.
So, one of the things that I did want to talk about was the manipulation of all of the universes. Right? They had the mirror. What was
The
it?
mirror
dimension.
dimension,
Yes.
where they could
Right.
it basically froze reality.
Yeah.
Where anything you do inside the mirror dimension only happens there.
Yeah.
It's
But the downside was that the dark energy, or the
Was
dark
stronger
realm,
there.
was stronger in the mirror dimension,
Right.
Yeah.
which goes into the alternate dimensions, and where the reason why
The multiverse.
it goes into the multiverse. But that's why Doctor Strange is so vital to the world at this point in time, is because he's the first line defense on the mystic arts
Right.
side of
Nobody else can do what he can do.
it. Exactly.
So Dormammu was basically from a dark world, right?
Yes.
the
Yeah.
dark dimension.
Or dark dimension.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was from the dark
All
dimension.
things chaos and timeless.
Yeah.
Didn't he like rule the dark dimension? Wasn't he
More or
like the
less.
leader?
Kind of.
It was
I
basically
think
his dimension,
I
and he
think
hungered for all
is
the others.
dark
Right.
dimension.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
didn't it say basically like he consumed everything and
Yeah.
everything became
Yes.
part of him?
Yes.
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 So
So
he
he is the dark dimension. Yeah.
Eternal life as part of the one, as they say it in the movie.
Yep.
But he is the one.
But I really like how they did use like those particular colors to portray that, because you had purples, you had blues, you had all of those different colors, but they were the kind of colors that absorbed light.
Yes.
They didn't reflect as much light.
And
They're-
they stirred together and
Cool.
became very psychedelic.
And it's also like mentioned in the Adventure Zone. It's the same as like a black opal.
So let's talk about the time loop,
That was epic.
because that was awesome.
It
That
was.
was brilliant.
I just rewatched the movie again today,
Yep.
and that's actually, I have a bunch of favorite parts of the movie, but that's one of the best because it's just like, Dormammu, I'm here to bargain, just
Yep.
over and over again.
Yep.
And then he's like, and there was a point to where Dormammu was like, what is going on? I don't know what to do.
Yep.
And then he
It was
finally,
the second time he goes in.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, he caught it the second time, didn't
Yeah.
really understand it until it kept happening and happening
Yeah.
to the point
And
where
then
he
he
got to the
points
point
out-
where,
I brought time with me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like the thing that like hits me the most with this is that it's like kind of like an eternal version of self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's gonna die over and over and over.
And he
so
felt every death. Like,
Yeah.
like
And he
it totally
can
hurt him
remember.
every time.
and he can remember all of them.
Yeah.
The really interesting thing with that is, yes, he was holding Dormammu prisoner,
Hostage. Yeah.
Basically.
but he was also holding himself prisoner.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't escape from that loop any more than Dormammu could.
Well, he could turn it off.
He could, but
Well, he could,
But then it
but
would've
if he
destroyed
wanted
it.
to save Earth,
Right.
he was committed to stay there forever.
It was also one of the greatest probably characterizations because at the beginning of the movie he's this very arrogant character.
Yeah, he's a
and at the end
douchebag.
he's very selfless.
and we also
Yeah.
remember when he's fighting Caecilius the first time at the Sanctum, Caecilius quotes him.
Mhm.
Tiny momentary specks within an indifferent universe.
Yes.
That's what Doctor Strange refers to human beings in general as at the very beginning of the movie as a surgeon. Because he's like, okay, fine, I saved their lives. Yay. And then...
Well, because he's smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
And then Caecilius says that, basically saying, all life is fleeting.
Yeah.
Tiny momentary specks within an indifferent universe. So why not bring Dormammu in? Why not let him consume everything?
Yeah.
Exactly. One of the interesting things with that time loop and with all of that that I noticed was that he did start off every single time the same way.
Yeah.
And that
Dormammu, I'm here to bargain.
Yeah, that was a
Dormammu.
choice. He didn't have to do that. He changed what he did after that.
Yeah.
Every single time. He did that. And this is my personal opinion. He did that as a psychological. You're not only trapped in this moment, but you're trapped with me doing this same thing.
Yes.
Forever.
And that would drive anyone crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the waterboard torture.
Yeah.
It's like the song that never ends.
Yes, exactly.
Or the one that gets on everybody's nerves.
And even the consumer of worlds would go nuts.
It would break, yeah.
Ori, what did you think of the movie, the concept, and the application of it?
First of all, I was really excited about the movie of Doctor Strange because I've never read the comic books, so I was really excited to learn a lot about him, and I was hoping it would be an origin story, and it was. So I'm really excited about that. But I wasn't sure how they would apply the magic because I really didn't know anything about Doctor Strange. Visually, I liked how it looked, and as far as it actually happening, it did make some sense to me, even though I don't study magic of any sorts.
Well, I mean, only a few of us here actually practice magic.
Yeah, right. I write about it.
And even those few are only a few of those few are actually any good at it. So
Very true.
You have like the rogue like myself. It's the arcane trickster, and I like to throw in little tidbits with myself. You got sonar. That's well known throughout the group.
Rasha,
Yes.
what did you think?
Well, like Ori, I didn't read the comics, but I knew the basic gist of it, and I love Benedict Cumberbatch. So I was really excited to see how he would take on the role, and I loved the whole thing. I love the visual aspects. I love how trippy it is. I love how he evolved as a person, and how he learned the magic and the portals to the.
Yes.
I'm like, that would, in grad school, I could have definitely used the astral projection and studied.
Yes.
I did not sleep during grad school at all.
Yep.
But yeah, I loved it.
So, what we're going to do is we're going to go around. We're going to give basically a general score. For me, I think that the idea, the concept, is at least a solid 8 to 9.
We're doing this on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
All right. 10 being
No. I'm doing it on a scale of 13.
Okay.
So just a nice round number.
You can't be
A nice
either good nor
even
bad. It's like going on a
2.
scale of 1 to 3.
A 1 to 10 scale. We'll give it 10 variety. So I give the concept an 8 to 9 because while I really enjoy the concept of it, I think it kind of pushes the boundaries of, okay, this could actually happen, to, yes, this could happen, but they took it way too far. It works really well for the Marvel Universe, but I think they could have brought it back just a little bit and it still would have been totally epic. The execution of it, like the actual portrayal in the movie, I would give an easy 10 because it was awesome. I love watching that movie. I think that the reception by the public was also at least a 9, if not 10. Just because, if you look at the numbers, just the sheer numbers they pulled.
It's an extremely high grossing movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty sure every Marvel movie does.
Yeah. So I give the concept, same as Joster, definitely probably a 9. I think that I've read the comics, some of the older ones, some of the newer ones. So I already knew that I really, really liked the concept of Doctor Strange. What was the other thing?
The movie, like how it's
Execution.
The execution. Yeah. I thought the execution was phenomenal. 10 on that for sure. And then I definitely think that the public, from conversations I've had with my friends and just other people, I think that they really responded very well to it.
The concept, I really, really loved. As a writer myself, I honestly think how it compares with my characters. Mm-hmm. I love the concept, solid. I mean, easy 9, probably a 10 in my book. As because I'm coming at it from a writer standpoint. Execution, as a film, brilliant.
Yes.
Special effects were great. I mean, it's Marvel. They're funded by Disney. You can't go wrong with the Disney budget.
People do still.
Yeah,
they do. They do.
You can go wrong with the Disney budget.
Marvel rarely does.
Marvel rarely does.
Well, it depends on who's doing the execution.
It's true. And thinking about the way they did Doctor Strange has so many. I mean, it necessitates so many different visual effects.
Yes.
All those visual effects. I mean, the graphics crew nailed it.
Yep.
It was brilliant. And as far as public reception, yeah. Yes. So 10.
That's a solid yes for you folks listening along at home.
Yeah. I probably would say the same thing as Stan. Like, the story itself, like, even if you, like, take out all, like, the magic and stuff, the character isn't, like, I have a problem with, what are they called?
Mary Sue's
Yes.
and Carrie Stews.
Yes, I hate those kinds of characters. And, like, Doctor Strange is, like, the opposite of that. Like, he is probably one of the most douchiest characters I have ever seen.
Yeah.
He's such a jerk at the beginning, and then, like, he learns to, like, overcome his selfishness and himself. And, like, at the same time, the antagonist isn't portrayed as, like, the perfect evil. Like, I mean, Dormammu, yes. Like, but I don't remember his name.
Caecilius.
Yeah.
Caecilius isn't, like, all bad. He thinks he's doing what's right for, like, the world.
Right.
Yes.
But he's not. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I really like about this particular story. And as far as, like, the execution, like, everything, like, I loved the movie. Like, I probably could watch it another 10 times and still not get tired of it. And as far as, like, like, public reception, like, I haven't read the comics, but my sister's ex-boyfriend did. And so when they went to the movies, and she hadn't read the comics, she had no idea what was going on, but the whole time he was fangirling, I remember this part from the comics. It was great.
Nice.
So for the concept itself, I give it, as Jack and Joster said, a 8 or 9, just because I feel like they use time a little too much too. Because I feel like he should have just played with it, I understand, like, yeah, he had to save people in the earth, but, like...
We only have 2 hours to save the world. You gotta kind of fast forward.
But also, that's what, like, Marvel already has enough play with time because of all the different universes and everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not a fan of so much time in one universe.
Yeah, an overdone concept.
So that's the only problem I have with the concept. The execution was phenomenal. All the, like Stan Merrill said, all the special effects were great. Benedict Cumberbatch himself was great. All the actors did phenomenal in the movie, and you got interested in the story and felt like you were in there with him at the whole time.
Absolutely.
And then the reception by the public, like, everyone I talked to loved the movie. I haven't really heard any bad reviews of it at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so with concept, honestly, I've always really liked Doctor Strange. I don't know loads about him, but, like, I'm one of those people, like, I go and research a lot of the comic stuff rather than, like, I'm not in depth on the comics, but that's how I fall in love with a lot of characters. And Doctor Strange was one of my, like, obsessive favorites. I was initially really super not thrilled that Benedict Cumberbatch was playing Doctor Strange. Like, flat out, like, that was making me hate and dread the movie coming out. Like, I felt so bad because I love Benedict Cumberbatch, but I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna wreck this. And I don't know why I thought that, but maybe it's just because... And this isn't me being mean, but it's like, I do have a bit of an issue about the changing races and stuff. Not a major one, so I'm not going to run on that. But just, he's supposed to be Hispanic, and you have pasty white English boy. I had such a problem with that, and
Pasty white English boy with an American accent.
Yes, yes. I had such a problem with that. I was dreading it when the movie was coming out. Execution went way better than I was anticipating, obviously. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. He did really awesome. Totally, I couldn't even see him anymore, which always works really well for an actor for me. The movie overall, I don't really have any super big complaints about it. And so public reception, I haven't really actually heard anything complained about either, which is amazingly impressive because I always hear everything complained about. I live on the internet, and I live on the internet where a bunch of comic book nerds live, and all I ever hear is, well, this dramatization was wrong because this, and this, and I honestly haven't really heard any negative feedback at all about Doctor Strange, which is impressive.
As far as the concept goes, I would probably give it 9. It's the type of stuff that I like watching and like reading about. So for me, it was spot on. And unlike Sylvoth, when I heard that Benedict was it, I was like fangirl squealing and hyperventilating. Yes. And since I didn't know much about like the comics, I didn't know to be like, oh, he should be Hispanic. But I was like, Benedict, yes, 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 yes. So I went in with high expectations, and execution surpassed my expectations. And as far as the reception goes, I mean, I was there opening night in IMAX, so I received it very well, and then everyone received it very well.
As Rasha always does.
Alright. I did. And everyone that I've heard, they received it very well too. I've heard zero complaints.
I feel like I'm going to be like the Debbie Downer of the group because it was awesome. Like, I loved it. I loved the way that they implemented time from the very get-go. You know, it was like subtle references until like some people don't even recognize it. It's subtle references from time, from the very beginning of the movie to the towards the end, like emphasizing the importance of time and how not even the Ancient One could escape time.
Yes.
You know, it's like you can live through a moment 1,000 times, but it's still gonna end. But the execution, there was some stuff about, especially like the eye and the main villain. It was a little different than what I would have expected it to be. The execution, I guess, I'm gonna give like a 7 or 8. People that I've talked to about it loved it. I absolutely love it. I love Benedict Cumberbatch. I love the way that he played an American, you know. And I say that with a southern accent on purpose.
Yep. An American.
So, the idea of it, I give it like a 9, solid 9, early 10. for the execution,
like 9:45.
Like 9:45. Yeah, it's right around there. Like the time we started this. It's right there. Yeah, it's about the time we started. For the execution, that one I'm going to give probably a 7. And for the reception of the movie to the other people that watched it, I think everyone loved it.
Well, for what I was looking for in the movie, I feel like it's everything I wanted. It gave me how he got magic and why he went looking for it. It showed his struggles and the unique ways he had to develop his talent.
Yep.
And obviously his character change from selfish to unselfish and saving everybody really. I give it a 10. The execution, I like how I didn't know much about Doctor Strange, but I knew like what he looked like.
Yeah.
I knew that he had a thing with time, so I knew like those things would probably be in there, and I like how they put it in the movie, but I did feel like the time loop that was kind of overpowered, but kind of obvious. Like, I mean, suddenly like he's in basically a boss fight.
Yeah.
Obviously dying multiple times.
Right. Each time leveling up, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that hero save on point.
in the process, succeeding eventually. Everyone that I know loved it, so I give it a 10 all the way.
Cool. Awesome movie, awesome concept, and awesome reception by the public.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally awesome. We're gonna go ahead and say goodnight.
So long, farewell.
Say goodbye.
I was thinking good night, my someone, but okay.
You just make me want to fireball.
Completely different.
Just fireball the whole room, Raja.
It's alright, we'll have like 5 different